This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Wednesday, the 16th day of October in the year 2019. Here's what we're tracking tonight. Acting Chief Justice Roxanne George Wiltshire this afternoon threw out an application by the opposition People's Progressive Party to get the court to force the cabinet to resign, in keeping with the passage of the no-confidence matter. The Chief Justice in her ruling described the application by the opposition PPP as vexatious and an absolute abuse of the process of the court, pointing out that the matter was already taken before the highest court for Guyana and was rejected. She said she could not understand how it was expected that the lower court should deal with the matter now. The Chief Justice in her ruling said the pronouncements of the Caribbean Court of Justice and the orders made in the consequential orders judgment must be read dispassionately and objectively, adding that while the applicant may be dissatisfied with the conclusion of the Caribbean Court of Justice, he cannot seek to overturn or reinterpret that decision by filing an application before the High Court. Attorney Anil Nandlal, who filed the application, was disappointed by the court's decision and has indicated that he intends to appeal the matter.
And here it is. We have approached the court. There's a cabinet that's refusing to resign. And the constitutional court of the country is telling us that because the CCJ did not make that order, then forever we are in perpetual error. In other words, the doctrine of precedent and the doctrine of stare decisis are now superior to the constitution of the country. The constitution is the supreme law, not no ordinary principle of stare decisis or doctrine of precedent. Those are elementary, very low-rank principles. The constitution is the supreme law of Guyana, and that, unfortunately, is not being upheld by the court. So this decision must be appealed in the interest of constitutionality.
Attorney General Basil Williams welcomed the ruling by the Chief Justice. He said the decision has restored the position of the rule of law in Guyana. Mr. Williams said since the CCJ had already determined the matter at the highest level, it was not fit or proper for the same application to be taken before a lower court.
The Attorney General and the government, we're happy with the decision. I think the decision of the Lord Chief Justice has restored the position with the rule of law in Guyana. And it's a very important principle for a hierarchical system of courts that you follow precedents. And the principle of stare decisis is that you follow the precedents set by the higher courts. And since the CCJ had already determined this issue, whether the cabinet and government should resign, it was not fit nor proper, and it was of no legal effect for you to come to the lowest court to seek to have that decision of the court, CCJ, the apex court, overturned.
Nandlal wanted the court to compel the cabinet, inclusive of the president, to resign, pointing to the Constitution and its provisions on the passage of a no-confidence motion. More news coming up in just a moment.
The Guyana Elections Commission would be conducting a claims and objections exercise from the 1st of October 2019. Persons have until the 4th of November 2019 to make a claim to be on the list if you will be 18 years or older by the 31st of December 2019, a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or registration, a citizen of a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for a period of no less than 1 year preceding the 31st of December 2019, persons who require changes or corrections to their particulars as stated on the preliminary list of electors, such as names, occupations, and transfers in relation to their addresses, can also do same during the claims and objections period. You must present the relevant original documents in order for the transaction to be completed. Don't delay. Visit the nearest GCOM registration office today. For more information, visit our website at www.gcom.org.gy. Follow GCOM on Facebook at Guyana Elections Commission. Contact us on 225-0277-9 or 223-9653. Email pro@gcom.org.gy or the nearest GCOM registration office.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Protect your fuel system, whoa.
Guyald's Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guyald's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive!
All across our nation, Guyana, we see it in your lives. The future growing even stronger. GBTI, all eyes on Guyana skies as the voices of our people rise again. GBTI, Guyana's pride is in your eyes. GBTI, we see Guyana through your eyes.
After relinquishing old ties and establishing ourselves as a republic 50 years later, we're a proud people with a bright future. On Saturday, October 26th, come celebrate our 50th Republic Jubilee in Linden Town with the street parade starting at the Five Corners to the Linden Georgetown Bus Park. See the unveiling of the 50th Republic Jubilee logo. Hear the jingle and the theme. Enjoy the block party and the after concert featuring all reigning monarchs. The 50th Republic Jubilee launching Saturday, October 26, 2019. Come, let's celebrate.
Welcome back. The recently launched Liberty and Justice Party, headed by Indigenous leader and former Tushao Lennox Schumann, has started preliminary talks with a Partnership for National Unity over the possibility of the LJP joining forces with the APNU-AFC coalition for the next elections. President David Granger this morning confirmed that he has held discussions with Mr. Schumann and has described the talks as exploratory.
We have not actually come to any agreement. The talks are exploratory, but he is convinced that there is a wide area of convergence between the policies of our partnership and his party. We are already 5 parties in APNU, and the AFC, which is not in APNU, makes a 6th party in the coalition.
There are 5 parties which make up the APNU, with the People's National Congress Reform being the largest party in the group. According to President David Granger, the APNU has a policy of being inclusionary, and therefore it would be open to welcoming other parties.
Mr. Schumann has given me the assurance that there are areas of convergence between the Liberty and Justice Party, LJP, and what he thinks the APNU stands for.
The president was clear to point out that there has been no agreement as yet between the APNU and the LJP, since the discussions remain in the early stages.
I have had preliminary exploratory talks with Mr. Schumann. We are looking for common ground. We're looking for areas of convergence. The policy of a Partnership for National Unity is that we are inclusionary, and we welcome other parties who share our objectives to develop Guyana, Guyana's children, Guyana's environment.
Questioned about Mr. Schumann holding citizenship in both Guyana and Canada, the president reminded that dual citizenship only prevents one from serving in the parliament and cabinet. He said the discussions have not reached that stage as yet. Mr. Schumann has also confirmed that he has had discussions with the president. The Liberty and Justice Party was launched in January this year. Mr. Schumann is a trained commercial pilot who worked in the aviation industry in Canada for several years. He remigrated to Guyana a few years ago and served as a Tushao of the village of St. Cuthbert's Mission, which was renamed Pakuri. He also served as the vice chairman of the National Tushao's Council. Well, President David Granger this morning accepted the credentials of the new German ambassador to Guyana, Uti Konig. Guyana and Germany have shared diplomatic ties for over 50 years, with those ties being developed in Guyana's year of independence. President Granger said the relationship between Guyana and Germany is founded on mutual respect for each other's territorial integrity and sovereignty, as well as mutual non-interference in each other's internal affairs.
I am pleased to accept the letters of credence crediting you as Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany to the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. I congratulate you on your appointment and welcome you to Guyana. I ask that you convey to His Excellency President Frank-Walter Steinmeier My best wishes for his personal well-being and for the continued progress and prosperity of the people of the Federal Republic of Guyana.
The president said Guyana has welcomed Germany's cooperation in the protection of Guyana's forests and the establishment of protected areas, and the country is also appreciative of Germany's support for natural resource and environmental management. The new German ambassador said she is proud to represent Germany as the country's first female ambassador to Guyana.
Your Excellency, it is my great honor to present to you today the letters of recall of my predecessor Holger Michael, as well as the letters of credence appointing me Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Federal Republic of Germany to the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. I feel privileged to continue working to further our excellent bilateral relations and the relations between the European Union and the Caribbean Community and Common Market, as well as CARICOM, and to represent my country as the first female German ambassador to Guyana.
The ambassador said, like Guyana, Germany is looking forward to strengthen its ties with Guyana as it offers support in needed areas. The Commission of Inquiry into yesterday's deadly accident, which has been ordered by the President, will look at all the issues surrounding the accident and make recommendations to avoid a recurrence. 5 persons lost their lives in that accident. In an address to the nation, the President said steps will also be taken to ensure that regulations, standing operating procedures, inspections, and the careful selection and training of drivers for the security forces are measures that are put in place so as to prevent a recurrence. The government of Guyana, he said, and the security forces will ensure that the findings and recommendations of the Commission of Inquiry are fully and rigorously implemented. President Granger visited the scene of the crash yesterday morning and later offered his condolences to those who died. Those who passed away in the accident have been identified as husband and wife Herbert and Denise Josiah, Special Constable Laverne Stobie, GDF Sergeant Leon Tucker, and Presidential Guard Ronald Barker. Another Presidential Guard remains in hospital with serious injuries. The Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit is preparing charges against 2 men from Tushin on the east bank of Essequibo after the 2 were busted with over 90 pounds of marijuana. The 2 men have been identified as 39-year-old Shafiq Latif and 35-year-old Narish Totaram. In a statement today, Kanu said the 2 men were occupants of a Toyota Spacio motorcar that was under surveillance as part of a drug trafficking probe. The car was stopped along the Parika Public Road yesterday, and during a search, Kanu ranks discovered the large parcels of compressed marijuana stashed in the vehicle. Kanu said both men were immediately arrested and charged and will make their court appearance soon. The bus came as the Drug Enforcement Agency has been tightening its grip on drug traffickers and distributors all across the country. While the Guyana Police Force has ruled out any involvement of a young soldier who was found dead on the roadway in Tugville in the shooting death of a gold miner 2 days ago. The soldier's body with 2 bullet wounds was found moments after the shooting incident of miner Dion Stull. It was initially suspected that the soldier might have been one of the robbers who attacked the miner and was injured during the getaway. However, senior investigators said based on their probe, the 18-year-old GDF rank Elijah Chesney has been ruled out as being involved in that incident. Crime Chief Michael Kingston has been quoted as saying that from all appearances, the soldier was involved in another incident involving a disagreement over a motorcycle, and he was shot by a man during that row. That matter is under investigation. Across the Region is coming up next.
The Guyana Elections Commission would be conducting a claims and objections exercise from the 1st of October 2019. During this exercise, objections to the inclusion of the name of anyone who is suspected not to have met the eligibility requirements for inclusion in the PLE could be made only by an elector who is listed in the same divisional list in which the person being objected to is listed, or accredited scrutineers of political parties, providing any such scrutineer has monitoring responsibilities for the division in which the person being objected to is listed. Objections can be tendered to the registration officer of the registration area from the 1st of October 2019 to the 11th of November 2019. You must present the relevant original documents in order for the transaction to be completed. Don't delay. Visit the nearest GCOM registration office today. For more information, visit our website at www.gcom.org.gy. Follow GCOM on Facebook at Guyana Elections Commission. Contact us on 225-0277-9 or 223-9653. Email pro@gcom.org.gy or the nearest GCOM registration office.
There once was a man named Stan whose business needed a new plan. Christmas was coming, this much was true. He needed some help but didn't know what to do. Then fast as a flash, 3 helpers did come from Republic Bank. They came with some. One had low interest rates, one reduced equity, one with approval so quick and easy. Now Stan is the man and his business is booming. Christmas is good and he is winning. Reach more customers and boost your business with a Republic Small Business Loan today.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right. Walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
Join GTT in the fight against cancer at the Pinktober 5K and 10K Walk and Run, Saturday, October 26th at Durban Park from 5:30 a.m. Sign up at GTT stores for only $2,000 and make a difference today. Use MMG and pay just $1,500 at select GTT stores. Let's be aware and show that we care. See press for more details or visit gtt.co.gy/Pinktober.
Across the region right now, Venezuela has announced a dramatic hike to the minimum wage in a move that critics expect will do little to alleviate widespread suffering in the crisis-torn country. The monthly package of pay and bonuses that workers will soon take home with them roughly equals $15 monthly, but that increase equals more than 350%. It's the third pay increase this year in Venezuela. A once wealthy oil-producing nation plunged into an economic crisis with hyperinflation that devoured the regular increases. Critics have lashed out at the latest pay increase, seeing the bump lacks accompanying measures by President Nicolas Maduro's socialist government to fix the broken economy and end hyperinflation. A whole chicken at a supermarket in September cost 80,000 bolivars, equivalent to $4. Earlier this year, the Venezuelan opposition leader Juan Guaido launched a campaign to oust Maduro with backing from the US and more than 50 other nations. Maduro, who has not addressed the increase, maintains power with support from the military and other nations including Cuba, China, and Russia. Over in Mexico, a recent Trump administration policy known as MPP means immigrants seeking asylum in the US have to remain in Mexico while they await their court hearings. In addition, the US has drastically reduced the number of refugees it will accept next year to just 18,000, the lowest in decades. The BBC reports that the two policies are complicating an already overburdened system in Mexico, and immigrant shelters are struggling to cope. The United Nations says that there has been a more than 3,500% increase in asylum applications in Mexico over the past 7 years, and as many as 80,000 people are expected to apply this year alone. And finally tonight, international news. Former US President Barack Obama has endorsed Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau for re-election. Mr. Obama tweeted that the world needs his progressive leadership now and that he hoped Canadians would re-elect the Liberal leader. Canadians' vote on the 21st of October in opinion polls suggest a tight race. The Obama-Trudeau friendship made headlines after the Canadian Prime Minister was honored with an official state dinner in Washington. Mr. Obama's tweet has attracted some blowback from those who say it is foreign interference in Canada's election. Mr. Trudeau did not endorse any US candidate in the 2016 election. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting.